And how do you debug? Well, you see these are the line numbers over here on the side. You want to click on the gray part, like past the number, so that way you can add a breakpoint. A breakpoint is when the program stops at a certain part of the code, so that way you can see what's happening. So we have this simple program here where we ask the user for a number, and then we change that number by doing all these modifications to it, all these arithmetic operations to it, and we display the final result over here. So without a breakpoint, let's run to see what happens. We're asked to enter a number, so we enter 10, and we get 11. But why? We could try to manually figure this out. This may, like, it's possible to figure it out, but what if we find something easier than for us to figure out what happened during the process? So this is where debugging comes in. So as you notice here, when I ran it, it stopped here, or the program breaks here, if I'm saying that right. So these are the controls. The stop button is to stop the program, restart to restart the program, step into something, usually a function or something else. But you won't see in this example where you do step into. Step over is to go to the next line. Step out would be to leave a function or something. But in this example, we're not going to use step into or step out. It's just, we're not going to do anything advanced right now. So for now, oh yeah, and lastly, you can use continue to jump to a different part of the breakpoint. It's useful so you don't have to be adding in all of these other breakpoints. So for example, if I put continue, right, so I got to put the number, and you notice here, it just jumped over here. But let's start over. So right now we have enter a number, stepping over, we're now at CIN, the CIN statement. Well, if I step over again, it needs to actually do the operation. So I'm going to put 10 like before. And you pay attention to the bottom. This is the part you look at. So this is the variable, which is called number. And then we also have the value, which is 10, which that's correct. And the type is int. Now if you notice here, if I step over, it just didn't work. I'm still not sure why that happens, but the fix usually is adding like these cout statements. Although that doesn't always work, but you could try something like that. So let's do this last run. And if you notice here, we put 10 before, and the current value is 10. By then it should already been displaying 11 by the time we get to this statement. Now it didn't update just yet, but it should very soon. And you notice it should be 11 then 12, and by the time we get here, we're not going to divide by 2. And it changes to 6 after the cout statement. And then we have number getting multiplied by 2. That should be 12. And notice down here is now 12. And we subtract by 1, which should be 11. And the result is 11. If you notice here, it displayed that once we pass the cout statement. And then we just exit. So that is a small example of debugging.